Donna, members of Canada's Sikh community say the Indian government is weaponizing travel visas to silence its critics.
You're playing with people's lives.
In 2016, Indian-Canadian Bikramjit Sandar requested a travel visa from India to visit his birth country and see his grandfather, who was ill. But the visa was denied, and Sandar received an uncomfortable ultimatum.
There's a letter that you got to sign, and you got to make sure that you get that done.
After his visa rejection, Sandar says he received an email with this letter for him to sign, declaring that India is a great, sovereign, socialist, secular and democratic republic, and denouncing Khalistan, the Sikh separatist movement, and any other movement against India.
So we said we can't sign this document.
Sandar is the former president of this Sikh temple in British Columbia, where he often condemned human rights abuses in India. Sandar arranged a meeting at the Indian consulate in Vancouver and says officials told him he wasn't welcome in India because of his statements promoting Khalistan and criticizing India.
If it's talking about human rights violations happening around the world, that's something we're always going to keep on doing.
Global News spoke with 4 Indian Canadians and their families who all shared similar stories. Their visas withheld unless they agreed to sign a letter supporting India and denouncing its critics.
So in the community, these things are well known, well documented amongst individuals, although rarely spoken about just because of people feel threatened. That you have a foreign power here that is undermining everything that people value as Canadians.
After being rejected, Sandar and 2 other visa applicants said they were referred to this man, Maninder Gill. The BC businessman and former Punjabi radio host allegedly told them if they wanted a visa, they needed to sign one of these letters or make pro-India public statements. Sandar's letter was emailed from this immigration firm located next door to Gill's office. The owner told Global News he couldn't recall the details, but did not believe Gill told him to send the letters.
It is typical of Indian intelligence.
This national security expert says India is known to use unofficial proxies to do its dirty work in foreign countries.
And the beauty behind the proxies is it gives them a little bit of I'll call it a firewall between the people carrying out these acts and collecting information and the government of India.
Gill told Global News he only wanted to help people obtain visas. I have an open door policy, he said. I guide them, provide them information. I have never denied that I have good relations with the Indian consulate. Gill also said he was never involved in any foreign interference. If everybody having good relations with a consulate is branded as a foreign agent, the government should simply shut them down, he said. Gill made headlines back in 2010 after he shot a Sikh activist outside this temple. Gill argued it was self-defense. His conviction was overturned on appeal, and he eventually walked free after the judge said he'd faced an unreasonable trial delay.
The violence that took place.
Gill has organized numerous pro-India demonstrations and events with Indian consular officials, including India's High Commissioner Sanjay Verma. Verma was one of 6 Indian diplomats recently expelled from Canada after the RCMP accused them of orchestrating a wave of violent crimes, including the alleged assassination last year of Sikh separatist leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar. India denied those allegations.
Criminal activity orchestrated by agents of the government of India.
The RCMP says India also withholds visas to coerce community members into spying. Their intel then given to hired guns. As was allegedly the case in this shooting at the home of Punjabi music star AP Dillon.
It's not just you're keeping an eye on who is criticizing India. This information is being used to spy on people and getting them killed.
Members of Canada's Sikh community told Global News that India has long used visas as a means of silencing its critics, but they say those tactics have escalated dramatically to coercing people into spying and even violence. Jeff Semple, Global News, Toronto.